The Po' Boy Pundits podcast is brought to you by The Goddamn Sauce. Go to thegdsauce.com for details to order all the sauces to replace your ordinary condiments. Pulpery Media presents Po' Boy Pundits with your hosts, Brock and Ben. This is where we discuss the political headlines that grab our attention and all those little jerks that infuriate us.
I didn't think it could get any more bonkers.
Oh.
And I know he's not even president yet, but how many cabinet positions are there? 24?
Well, so, yeah, I don't want to run through it. But, like, for instance, like, CIA director is not a cabinet position.
That's what I thought.
Office or the OMB, that's not a cabinet position. UN secretary is not a cabinet position. I don't even think the director of national intelligence is a cabinet position. That's still an advisee position.
And who's that?
Tulsi Gabbard.
Seriously?
Yeah.
So she doesn't need to be confirmed. She's a fucking Russian asset.
No, I mean
our government.
She still has to be confirmed, but it's not a cabinet. Like she doesn't over.
Oh, I see. What
she
you're
doesn't
saying.
oversee a department of
but she still has to be confirmed. Got it. All right.
No, I mean same with like all ambassadors have to be confirmed. All heads of agencies have to be confirmed. But like FBI is part of the Justice Department. It's not its own department, right?
Well, yes, correct, but it's not about to be anymore. Just saying. You know, Marjorie Taylor Greene wanted her Gestapo. She's a fucking moron. She's about to have those people.
Yeah. Well, there's...
I mean, just looking at these people. So, who would be in charge of that? Actually, let's backstep a little bit. Can he legit fire generals? I didn't think that was a thing. I mean, I guess as being the head of the joint,
Yeah, that's a good question. I would think that there's a process to that.
Correct.
Like, it would have to be signed off, like... I mean, I think he can fire... I think technically he can fire the generals on the Joint Chiefs, but then...
Right.
And he can bring up an appointment, but I think, each branch of the military and the Joint Chiefs have a say in who gets approved. Because
by the way,
I remember hearing like they reluctantly approved Mark Milley when he was not, put up for the job. Because,
And now he's backtracked on all of that, so...
Well, and that they thought he was too much of a politician versus, a battle-ready general, but... He was good in the circumstances that we needed him.
Correct.
But now
domestically, which is
and but that's going to be a whole other thing where we've talked about it before. But if Trump does decide to go that route, I think you would among commissioned officers.
Right.
You would see something more of the military asserting itself as the fourth branch of government, being like, no.
Yeah, that's kind of how I look at it.
I still think, though, there is some approval process through the Senate.
Probably because, he's the head of the Joint Chiefs
of
Staff.
And if a sycophant is nominated for that position, at least as of right now, the way some of these established Republican senators are talking, they're not entirely on board with that.
No, like Hedwig, whatever.
Hegseth.
Hedwig.
Well, and that's it. I mean, they got
like that dude.
They got Gates to step down. So, and then
I still don't understand that entire what went down in those 4 days, or however many days it was.
In part, I think it was. Again, there's only so much that that the House can do, like whether Mike Johnson's going to delay that ethics report or whatever. But I think what became clear to Gates was, and Trump's transition team, was that he didn't have the support among Republican senators. That there's enough dudes that hate his fucking guts.
Which is most. That's what I'm saying.
Or are scared by
why
all the accusations.
Trump just threw him out there to see, let me see how far I can get this, how far I can push this.
Or it was, like, let me throw out something completely ridiculous and let's see who's on board with it.
We're going to test the waters here. I hope he feels better. But he resigned from Congress because he didn't want the ethics thing to come out.
Yeah, or...
Because he's a private citizen at that point.
I'm
telling you that's why he did it.
Oh, no. I like to think that he thought it was a done deal. And he was, like, so cocky that he's just like, that's it. I'm out because I'm going to be Attorney General. And then But you're right. I think that's more of a plausible thing of, like, let me get out of here. But then now he no longer has congressional protection.
No.
Remember, you can't...
And he's already set, so... Go ahead, finish because I want to hear what you were saying.
Well, in this, I mean, if he had stayed a rep, then he would have had to have been, for any criminal prosecution to be brought against him, he would have had to have been expelled from the House of Representatives, like George Santos.
He's got to be a
private citizen.
Correct.
But he's now done that. So now any county's DA now can go after him on any of these charges or allegations that are coming up.
His dad is way too powerful in the state of Florida.
Could be, yeah.
But if he's flying them to New York, or a blue county,
right, exactly,
then they can most definitely,
Which it doesn't seem like he was too careful in doing this.
No, you saw the graphs, like the fucking spider graph is one, and then there was a list as well, his Venmo list.
Right.
Oh, Matt.
Like he's thinking like Venmo's receipts are private. Like no.
And it was like,
no, dude.
Thanks for being there.
Yeah.
Or just. Oh my god.
Which again, you just have to go back to the girls that those are sent to. Oh, what was this charge for? Oh, I gave him a blowjob. Like.
Right.
Well,
and she watched. I got an extra 200 here because I grabbed his balls.
Yeah.
And I got the 1,000 because he wanted me to fuck him.
What that comedian Roy Wood said on that weird CNN comedy news program they got now, but he's like, why does it have to be drug-fueled sex parties? Whatever happened to a Papa John's and Pepsi sex party?
I heard that. It's always drug.
Yeah.
Drug-crazed sex parties.
But then that's when somebody on the panel goes like, you'd have to be on drugs to fuck Matt Gay. So, I mean...
Or not know any better. Okay,
comedically, this is wonderful. Like, all the teacher TikToks now that Linda McMahon has been announced. I've sent you a couple. Where it's like, so do we get to use WWE rules to solve problems now?
The pile driver is still banned, apparently.
Not for long.
No, because Kevin Owens used it.
Yeah.
And the cats in AEW use it like it's a fucking, hip toss.
But I can't... That's the other thing with her is... Well,
I mean, she was in charge of HUD, his last administration.
Yeah. But I think, now you have a little more people are a little more aware because... They didn't do a whole lot on it, but there was a little bit in the Vince documentary on Netflix about the Ring Boys and stuff like that. So now that there's more public knowledge about that and that she's the one who was running the organization.
Yeah, her and Jim Jordan should get along splendidly.
And many of the conservative Catholics in Congress.
Who like to look the other way. Yeah, exactly. I read somewhere in some wrestling dirt sheet, it's probably a complete lie, but just a tiny bit of me hopes it's true that she's mad that she got the education because she wanted...
Like transportation or something?
Yeah. Exactly. I hope that's true.
Well, yeah, but you would think somebody...
So how do you...
Somebody's going to bring up even Vince-related shit.
You know what?
In
all
the hearings.
Of these people can get confirmed because of Republicans not having a spine.
Sure.
But if they get drugged through the mud in the process, like Brett Kavanaugh, whatever his douchebag.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah. Cool, let's
Yeah.
do it.
No, I mean, yeah, you go back and you look at that and you go, oh, I mean, well.
You mean like Clarence Thomas in the 80s?
Correct, yeah.
Yeah. And that motherfucker is still on there. Still.
For now.
He's going to retire like in July after the session's over, right?
Yeah.
Yep. I wonder how long after the 20th before he submits his resignation papers.
Oh, probably not long.
Right.
Because, I mean...
I've had this drafted up pre-election.
They want to get it done in the next 2 years.
Right.
In case the Senate changes, so... But, yeah.
So much going on. All right, so Linda McMahon, first thing in her education, she has pledged to abolish the education department.
Correct, yeah.
But you run the... I don't understand.
Well, it seems like a lot of his appointees, like that's their model, is that they're there to dismantle that department, which is, again, it flips back and forth where, there's too much government bureaucracy, or it's part of the deep state, or, but again,
they want no government.
Right, and they do, but at the same time, it's the same administration right now that is creating a new department in order to get rid of departments.
And they have 3 people running that department.
Is it 3 now?
Well, Marjorie Taylor Greene is on it now.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Because she has a lot of knowledge about a lot of different things.
Correct.
Yeah.
So she's going to help. Today she was talking about getting rid of NPR.
Yeah.
Like she said that in a hearing.
That doesn't surprise me. I mean, we're talking about the same government that got rid of, Reading Rainbow on PBS, so, but the...
PBS will be next.
Correct. And then, because everything should be for profit. So, just go ahead. Like every children's show should be, have mass amounts of advertising and should be available on all streaming platforms so kids can have an iPad in their hands at all times. Because that's worked out so well.
Oh, I know. And now they're getting rid of the news. You saw Elon wants to buy MSNBC? He said that out loud, like those words.
Well, so...
The thought, and he put it in Twitter or something.
Well, yeah, so NBC they're cutting off their cable divisions and making it a separate company, or Comcast is.
That's what I was going to say, because it's
Comcast. So CNBC and MSNBC are going to be part of this new company within the Comcast umbrella.
That can be sold?
Right, exactly.
So they just created another asset.
Correct. But that is separate from the tried and true brand.
So we're just slowly getting rid of the news.
Well, so that's why that comment makes sense. Is that once they sever that and create the separate company, then I mean, like you think Comcast is, if somebody bids several $1 billion for it, they're going to go no.
He's going to overpay. It's like George Steinbrenner here.
Yeah. And then he'll have his own.
And he's richer than anybody. Like he's richer than God.
Yeah. Yeah, he's got more money than the Catholic Church. Yeah.
Yeah. Think about that. Yeah, and he's probably got just as many dead bodies. No, he does not have just as many dead bodies. The Catholic Church has.
No, yeah. Nobody.
They are the Yankees of dead bodies. The Real Madrid of dead bodies. That's the Catholic Church.
Yeah.
White nationalist Catholic.
They give themselves trophies for it.
And Elon still has more money than them.
Yeah. The following segment has been brought to you by The Goddamn Sauce. Go to thegdsauce.com for details to order all the sauces to replace your ordinary condiments. The Po' Boy Podcast is a production of Pulpery Media, produced and edited by Ben Grimion, marketing by Brock Ryder, graphic design by Beck Ryder and Ben Grimion, music by the Heisenberg Compensators.